I want to take a look at how we identify missing pages after a website migration or we update our new website. It's pretty common that some pages are missing. So maybe we had a page before and now that page is gone and it's causing broken links. And particularly if there's any broken inbound links from other websites, we want to get those patched up. We want to get redirects set up because that can affect our search engine rankings. So let's take a look at how we do that. So this client of ours just launched a new website, and they used to have many, many hundreds of pages, and they really narrowed it down to just a few pages that they need. So it's going to be great for SEO, but we don't want there to be any dead ends. So let's go up and fix any broken pages that might have happened in this website update or the new website launch. So I'm going to copy the URL out of here, and I'm going to open up Screaming Frog SEO Spider, and I'm going to start crawling the site. And I do this because I want to identify broken links internally on the site. So as a search engine crawls your website, so does Screaming Frog SEO Spider to try to mimic that. And so a search engine might go through your website and click every single link and kind of map out the connections between them, right? And as it's doing that, potentially it's finding things that did not get caught where the web designers or the web developers when they did this. So we want to double check and make sure, particularly when they've really narrowed down the number of pages they have. So let's take a look at the results of the crawl. Looks like it's still coming along. That's okay. So what I want to see here is the HTML pages specifically. Oops, let's go internal HTML. We could see it's still crawling many, many hundreds of these. But when we want to find broken internal links, we can do it this way. So you can sort by status code. Now 200 means that it was fine, its status is okay. A 301 is a permanent redirect, so that means a page got moved to another page if we see that. And then a 404 is an error, or the page is not found, and those are the ones we want to fix. So it's still scanning through and looking at this. Let's come back to this. Basically, sometimes we get a huge number of broken pages here and we need to prioritize. So this is a good way to say what's broken on the new site. How do we prioritize is kind of the next question. So I use an SEO tool called Ahrefs for that. And again, I plug in the domain name here or the website. And this can give me the backlinks that point to it. This is a very powerful SEO tool. You can also use Moz or SEMrush or one of the others. And what I like here is we can look at backlinks that are broken, right? So anything that got broken here, it looks like at Get Found Madison, that's our site, we were linking to them to this specific page of what is BPM, and now that page is not found, right? What is Enterprise Content Management? That one's been moved. This opt-in was linked from somewhere else. We've got one even linked from Wikipedia, which is now broken. Now, some of these say no follow on here, so those don't necessarily pass SEO authority. So I might say the link type, just do follow, and then we're talking about what were the links from other websites to this one that passed SEO authority, and we want to make sure we don't lose these. So here's another one from cryonsystems.com, was going to this page, robotic process automation, RPA solutions. So these are all ones I would export out of here, and I would prioritize redirecting these because the search engine authority from this page is not necessarily being passed to this domain anymore, and we want to make sure we do not lose that. If you don't have this premium SEO tool, I think it's around $180 a year right now, $180 a month right now. So not everybody can afford that. I understand there is a cheap trial you can do for a week if you need to try it. Otherwise, you can use a free tool, Google Search Console, and you go under your account once you've got it set up and verified, and you can go to find your links. And so on the lower left here on the new interface, we can click links, and it'll show us external links. So these are links from outside our property to our property, and we can say, what are our top linked pages? You'll notice this list is a little different than Ahrefs, so they're crawling and picking up different ones, but obviously the home page is a very big one. They've actually got a PDF that's got a lot of links. It's kind of interesting. The blog, a testimonials page. I've already clicked through these and kind of examined them, so home page is good. That's still the same, right? But this testimonials page, when I click to this, /about-us/testimonials, I get this 404 page not found. So again, I know that this has links from potentially 9 different sites, 9 linking sites, has 32 links. So this would be worth fixing wherever this testimonials page should go, let's send it somewhere. Google has said if we just send this to the home page, they might treat it as a soft 404, like a dead end. So if there is any sort of equivalent page, we want to redirect there, even if that's just the About Us is kind of what I'm thinking in that case. So those are some ways, and again, you can export right out of here. You can go into Google Sheets or into Excel. Let's check back on our crawl here. It looks like we're still pulling up a few, but I'm going to try to sort by status code. Okay, now you can see what I'm talking about. We've got quite a few in here. So when I click on one of these, so they used to have one called navient.com/ECM/strategic planning objective. And when I click way down here at the bottom on in links, I can see where the broken link is. So they had a blog called Strategic Planning the Plan, or Strategic Plan for Business Process Automation, and it went to this page, and this page is now gone. So if we even wanted to open that in the browser, let's open the front page in the browser and see if we can find this. Sometimes if you need to see the specific link, you can go into your content management system like WordPress and fix it. I use another tool called Check My Links. It's a Chrome extension, and it'll go through and click all the links on the page and find your broken ones there. Also, notice how this corresponds here. So this is saying the anchor text is objective, and I can see the anchor text right here, objective. Sure enough, that seems to be a broken page, right? So if I click that, let's see what happens. I'm guessing we're going to discover just what Screaming Frog SEO Spider discovered. But notice if I went through every page and used Check My Links, this is a good way to do it, and I could go in and update these. But this could really take me a long time, versus Screaming Frog can really get these quickly. One quick note about redirects is if we control the internal link, which we do, we just want to go into this blog post and update the URL to the new one. We do not want to do a 301 redirect internally, or we don't want a lot of internal 301 redirects, since we have control to just go in and update them. Now for those external backlinks where it came from another site to us, if Navient didn't know Get Found Madison, if they do know Get Found Madison, which they do since I'm their SEO agency, they can just ask me, hey, can you update this link so it no longer goes to this broken link? Here's the new URL. So we'll do that since we have control of that one. And then for some of these others, maybe we could ask Cryon Systems, hey, can you guys update? Here's the new URL on this one. We could point them right to the page and give them a little screenshot of where that broken link is. But if we do not have control, then we are in redirect territory. So back to Screaming Frog SEO Spider. This really is a fast way to just find a ton of broken links that we need to fix. And again, rather than clicking through one by one to say, okay, these blog posts link to this resource, let's go and update those. If we want to get these in a spreadsheet, so we can go up to bulk export all in links. So it's going to give us this information down here in one big spreadsheet that we can work through. So let's download that and take a look. All right, here's the spreadsheet. I'm going to zoom in on it and just reformat it for a second just so we can see it. So we've got the sources and the destination, but we've got every single in link. So, the homepage menu, the logo links to itself. So what we really want to see, I'm going to select that top row. I'm going to filter it, and I'm going to go over to status code because, again, we just want to see the 404 errors, right? So now I've got a list of here's broken links, and it's telling me here's the source and here's the destination, right? So let's go to this one, for example, on-base resources. If I go to that in Chrome and use the broken link tracker, or I could even, let's see if it's got the anchor text in here. It does. The anchor text is subscribing to our newsletter. So I can see that right here. And if I run Check My Links, it's going to give me red on that because this is broken. So if there's a new page that people need to click to subscribe to the newsletter, or just if there's no way to do that, we're going to delete that link out so that it no longer goes to the broken 404 page. All right, we've really got our work cut out for us here because you can see there's just a ton of links, but the good news is it's really just the destination pages that are the issue. So I'm going to select those. We've just got a ton of these in here. Let's paste those into a new worksheet here, and let's deduplicate them to see how many are we really dealing with. So I'll go to data and then remove duplicates from column A. So there were 140 duplicates found, and I've basically got 199 left. And again, some of these are going to be higher priority than others. I'm going to start with those ones that had inbound links, and I might also want to take a look at ones that had the most traffic. So I think a cleaner way to do that is I'm going to hop into Google Search Console, and let's say we look at the last 3 months of data. That's fine. Here's our top pages. Let's export those out of here instead of Google Analytics and just take a look and see if we get a true URL format that we could then run through Screaming Frog. Okay, whoops, I got the queries, and then this tab gives me the pages. Great. So notice this format now. This is just organic traffic. Here's the landing pages. Here's the data for the last 3 months. So what I could do is I could run these specific URLs through Screaming Frog SEO Spider to see, hey, what's missing. And I would do that, except I've got one even better. This is a good way to prioritize, but before they launched the new site, I did a Screaming Frog crawl of the old site because I knew we were going to be getting rid of pages, right? So for a minute there, I was going through and saying, hey, is there a 404 error on the site? And I was manually checking these. And as you can imagine, that wasn't a great use of time. If I go and select all these and I look at the count, there's 1,200 pages to go through. So if you don't want to be really tedious about it, I strongly recommend you upload these into Screaming Frog. Let me show you how to do that. So back in Screaming Frog SEO Spider, the default mode is in Spider mode, and that means you put in this URL at the top like navigant.com and crawl it, and it crawls the live site. But in this case, I want to check either the top organic landing pages for the last 3 months and see if we've got broken errors or broken pages, or even the full crawl before we launch the new site. So let's try that. So in order to change that, we need to change the mode from Spider over to List. And now we're ready to upload a list of URLs that may not be live anymore because we want to check them. So we go Upload. You can do it from a file if you have a CSV, that's fine. Otherwise, I can just enter them manually. And we've got these options over here. We've got the full site, and I filtered by status code 200 because I just wanted real pages. I didn't want things that were redirects or broken pages on the old site. I really just want to focus on these ones here. So that's a huge long list. If I wanted to prioritize a little more, I could take this one I got from Google Search Console and say, what were the top SEO landing pages before the launch? I'll do the full list just because I'm curious and I don't want to go through and do this manually. So let's see if we can do this. I'll just copy this whole list down of 1,200 URLs and paste them in here. I believe you do need the premium version of Screaming Frog for this, which is something like 129 pounds a year or something like that. It's a British one. And as it's reading file, we can say OK, and this has to run. And when it's done, we're going to have, just like when we crawled the site, we're going to have a list of HTML pages, and we can see status code on some of them is 301, 200 on the other, and then 400 are the ones that we are looking for. All right, so when this is done, I'm going to have another list of 404s. Let's just summarize what we got, okay? So we crawled the existing site, the newly launched website. We basically told Screaming Frog to click every single link and tell us which ones are broken so we can go in and fix the internal links, ideally not with 301 redirects, but just by updating any broken links on the site, right? We also checked Hrefs to see what were the top broken backlinks where other websites are linking to us and these are broken. And these are the first ones I'm going to fix because these can really affect SEO. We get SEO authority by other websites linking to ours, and we don't want those links severed. And then lastly, this is above and beyond, and this will be the lowest on my priority, is I ran a Screaming Frog crawl before the new site launched, and now I'm running those old URLs through Screaming Frog to show me which ones have broken pages, basically. So you can go to response codes 400, and now I can find these in this list. So this will be the lowest priority because not all of these are necessarily high use, high traffic. They don't necessarily have links to them. So I really want to start and prioritize in that order, but you can see we'll have our work cut out for us and ultimately a better browsing experience for users and hopefully a better ranking in Google because we will have fewer broken links. The final piece then is just setting up the actual redirects, and we're going to have a lot to do here. So in this case, Navigant has a plugin called Easy Redirect, If you have the premium version of Yoast, you can handle the redirects through Yoast. Doesn't necessarily matter which plugin you use. You just need to have an option to set 301 redirects. So in this case, we'll plug in what's the page path of the old URL and then destination, where should it go, and then we'll add that redirect and it'll show up on the list. And I can see now that this old What is Enterprise Content Management page, that should redirect to just /enterprise content management. I'll show that real quick. So once you set up your redirects, you can see this URL, watch it up here, now goes to the new URL, and that is what we want. And we want it to be a 301 permanent redirect because that page is gone for good, and we want Google to know that.